Education is a social process. Education is growth. Education is not a preparation for life. Education is life itself. John Dewey. Education's purpose is to replace an empty mind with an open one. Malcolm Forbes.
Governor Schwarzenegger plans to cut $4 billion in educational spending for both 2008 to 2009 and 2009 to 2010, the school years. The loss of $4 billion would cause schools to have to raise 25% of their annual budget, shorten school years by up to 1 month, cut 50,000 teachers statewide, or a combination of the three. Specifically, a survey of 375 schools shows that the $100 million cut already imposed on schools by the City Department of Education resulted in 49% of the schools cutting orders for textbooks and instructional supplies, 48% of schools cutting after-school programs and tutoring services, 36% of schools cutting student clubs and extracurricular activities, and 23% of schools cutting teacher training.
Well, the recession has definitely impacted education hugely because in the California budget, education is a huge chunk of that budget. Unfortunately, when you have a recession, then education takes a big hit when it comes to cuts. And so we have lost a lot of our funding from our government, and so we're just having to make adjustments to make sure that your learning in the classroom is continuing as it should be and you have the least amount of impact in the classroom.
What sort of things do you have to cut back on?
Well, as you guys know from last year, there were pink slips given to teachers, so there were some cutbacks to staffing. Some of the class sizes were raised by a couple of kids. We've had to cut out some of our supplemental programs that we have in place, but we try very hard to keep the core program in place so that you're not missing out as a student on your core learning that you need to be successful in future years.
How much do you have to cut back?
It depends. Every school has different funding allocations, and so some of them are cut based on the number of students that you have or the population of students you have or the programs that you have. So it varies, but the district has had to cut, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and so that directly impacts each school in different ways.
How do you?
So tell me, how did the pink slip affect your idea of the future?
Well, it made me feel very uneasy about the future of education in the state of California. Everything that we work so hard toward is, I didn't know I was supposed to be looking that way. You said ignore the camera.
So when you received your pink slip, what went through your mind?
I was devastated. I thought I finally realized my dream later in life and get my credential only to have it taken away after 3 years of teaching.
Today we will be interviewing Samantha McCarter, Athletic Director and Physical Education Teacher about the Save Our Sports program at Pioneer Middle School. Thank you for coming today, Ms. McCarter.
No problem.
So tell me, when did the program Save Our Sports, also known as SOS, originally start?
We officially started this last year.
Who started the program?
Tustin Public School Foundation started the program. They realized that after-school sports may be cut, and they really want to help support after-school sports so they continue to participate.
Why did you pick this program to help?
I think it's really important for kids to stay active and be involved in a sports team after school. Keeps them out of trouble, and then also gets them used to high school competition.
How has the continuing recession affected the program's existence?
Well, we now have shorter seasons, so all our sports seasons went to 6 weeks instead of 8 weeks, and it's a pay-to-play program. So if the kids make the team, they actually have to pay a fee, which helps with the transportation and the coaching stipends and referees. And then the coaches also make less money this year.
In this environment, what is it that you need to do? So then Joel says to me this note, and he said he has 3 topics he wants me to talk about in 10 minutes. Now that is a challenge. I have a hard time saying hello in 10 minutes, but I'm going to attempt to do that. The first thing he talked about was turning around low-performing schools. Now I want you to know that in our language at NEA, we don't call them low-performing or high-need schools. We call them high-priority schools. They ought to be a high priority. And in this area of trying to turn around schools, this is not a new topic for us. Really since the 80s and A Nation at Risk in April of '83, we have been about trying to change education.